Hey you guys. So I get asked one question all the time from members at the gym, and that question is, what do you eat for breakfast? So I'm going to make my shake for you guys today and show you what exactly it is that I start my day off with every day. But I do want to chat about two things real quick before we get started, and that is labels. And I'm talking about the labels we put on ourselves and the labels on the bag. So real quick, the labels we put on ourselves, the reason I want to touch on that is because sometimes we get very caught up in our identity and the label that we put on ourselves. So maybe that might look like I'm vegan, I'm dairy free, I'm paleo. And while there's so many benefits to lots of different ways of eating, I think it's really important to make sure that your number one priority is the nutrition that you put in your body. And when something is so super good that it makes sense and it's really good for your body, then you can let some of the other things go. The creator of Shakeology, before we had vegan, which we do have vegan, said he ate vegan, that's how his body felt best, but he drank Shakeology, that was before we had the vegan, because it was so nutritious and good for his body, and it needed it, and he felt great. He goes, I'm not here to be a vegan, I'm here to be healthy. So just open your mind with that, because there are some grains in it that are so good and so pure and sprouted and fermented, which means the toxins are broken down. That's really good for you. So I would just encourage you not to get stuck on those labels. Second, labels, let's talk about the labels on the bag. And I love that people are really getting more and more used to looking at labels on the bag, because that's great. I love for people to be an advocate of our health. We have to be. But sometimes people really want to look at this spot here, the little nutrition label. And that's not really what's important, actually, at all. What's really important is the ingredients. Got to get used to looking at the ingredients, reading what's actually making up that nutrition label. So what is making up the protein, the carbohydrates, the sugars? And the reason this is extremely important is obviously you want to be making sure you're not getting chemicals. You don't want soy. You want to make sure that everything is pure in your food, non-GMO, all non-GMO in Shakeology. But what I want to get across today is something called whole food assimilation. So sometimes people look at a label and they'll say, wow, there's 6 grams of sugar. Well, that's far less than you would get in one apple. Is an apple unhealthy? No, because it's a whole food, and while there's natural sugars, there's also fiber. There's the whole food that your body is able to use and break down. You're not just squeezing out just the sugar, right? Well, Shakeology is a whole food product. Every ingredient is made from whole food sources. So the sugar is coming from whole foods, and that's why it's also certified low glycemic, because the sugars are absorbed slowly in your body, and it's super healthy, and you're getting all your fiber and your probiotics so that your body can absorb all the nutrients. We get used to terms like probiotics, but do you really get it? You know, it's making your gut healthy, and when your gut is healthy, it can absorb all those nutrients. So a food source like Shakeology has the broad spectrum of everything your body needs in one serving, not one bag, one serving. So it's really important to get that. They say that Americans have the richest urine on earth, and what that means is we might take synthetic vitamins, but it's not from a whole food source, and our bodies can't absorb all the vitamins, and so we pee them out. And that would be like rolling up to the gas station and pumping gas and letting a lot of it just spill on the ground, right? I mean, if you're going to pay the money, you know, and your intent is to fuel your high-powered vehicle, you want it in the vehicle. That's the same thing with our food. So that's why it's really important to look at the ingredients and understand whole food assimilation and how all those foods work together to make it so your body can absorb the nutrients. All right, so let's make a shake. I just add water. I don't use any dairy because I like to be dairy free. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But I just use water. I add some peanut butter, which on my meal plan I get, I think, 3 teaspoons of nut butters a day, so I just actually use it right in my shake is where I take my teaspoons. So that's where I get those in because I don't really need them anywhere else, and I'd rather it from my shake. Okay. So I don't know about you guys. Some people say this is a weird thing about me, but I love smells. Like, or I hate smells, but smell is a big deal to me. And I love the smell of my shake. It's just like, my kids make fun of me. As y'all know, I irritate my kids all the time because maybe I overreact to things, but smells are one of them. So, all right, I've got my scoop. This is a brand new bag, so my scoop is really covered in my shake today. All right, I swear I had my cup of ice ready. Here it is. I add water and ice, peanut butter, and my scoop of Shakeology, and that is it. This is my little trick, by the way, if you tend to get some stuck on the side of your blender. If you kind of swirl it around, it unsticks it, and it's ready to go. All right, that is it. My shake is made in, like, I don't know. When I'm not talking to people, it's probably about a total of 45 seconds that it takes me to make my shake. I love it in my little cup with my straw, and I immediately rinse out my blender, pop it back on there, and it's ready to go the next time I make a shake. So that is it. That is how I make my Shakeology and what I have every single day. Anyway, all right, you guys, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.